Yeah.
I will when I gotta remember numbers, because that's something I don't like. I don't remember numbers.
Alright guys, we're about to go live. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aisha Sims, and we are filming live from the Daily Grind Radio on the Covered in Business show. Today we have my co-host, Cherie Parker. Let me turn the screen around. Oh, walaikum salam. We have Glory Ali,
Assalamualaikum.
and we have Munaza Muhammad.
Assalamualaikum.
And today we will be talking about Muslims that travel, the pros and cons, some good places that we should think about, consider traveling to, how and why they got started, and their motivation. And they're going to give you ladies some tips on traveling, inshallah. Right, you ready?
Yes. So, Gloria, can you introduce yourself? Can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Sure, so I'm super excited to be here, alhamdulillah. My name is Gloria Lee. I'm the founder of Muslim Travel Vlogs, and I started travel blogging to encourage Muslims to travel and explore the world, and also to let them know that there's a lot of Muslim-friendly destinations around the world that are non-Muslim places. So I want to show them where they can go, what they can see, where they can pray, and what they can do that are Muslim-friendly destinations, and just enjoy, everything that Allah has given us. Alhamdulillah.
Awesome. So we have our next guest, Manasa. Can you tell us a little bit about your business and
How I got started and everything. So, assalamualaikum. My name is Munaz Muhammad, co-founder, CEO of Philly Traveling Muslims. It's a members only group where Muslim women come together from all over the country and travel the world together. And I started this group because oftentimes we miss out on opportunities because we simply don't have anybody to travel with. That's a lot of people's dilemma with traveling. It's like you start off with a group of friends or family members and everybody's excited, like, yes, let's go travel. Then when it's time to put money down, you lose a few people. Then when it gets closer, you lose a few more people. And I heard so many times that people ended up having to go on trips alone. And it's like, especially for Muslim women, it's I wouldn't recommend you traveling, alone, because this world is really not, designed for Muslim women to travel by themselves. So I wouldn't recommend that. So that's why I started Philly Traveling Muslims, for Muslim women from all over the country to travel the world together.
Inshallah.
yes. When did you start Philly Traveling Muslim? What year?
Last year, June, 2017.
Oh, so you're coming up on.
Yeah, I'm
1
coming up
year.
in my year, so
Yes.
inshallah. So far it's been very successful. We had over 90 members. Right now it's currently 50 active members, and you could either do a monthly membership where you can just pay month to month, or if you want to just take care of the year, it's a yearly membership. And you have access to all of our trips, all of our events that we go on. Our upcoming trip is the UAE, which will be leaving, inshallah, April the 3rd. So keep us in your du'as.
Keep us in your du'as and your traveling du'as.
So,
Keep me in your traveling
right.
du'as.
And this is actually going to be my third time going to the UAE. Before I started Philly Traveling Muslims, I was traveling. So, alhamdulillah, this will be my third time over there. And the UAE is something to experience different each time you go. So, I'm really excited.
That sounds exciting.
I know, it's amazing. Well, tell us some of the trips that, some some of the Muslims have been on in the past since you've been, in business? What are some of the trips? Some of the destinations.
We went to Vermont. We did a ski weekend in Vermont. Sisters came from all over the country, and we went to Vermont. We had a nice ski weekend there. It was a great experience. We had one big cabin, so all of the sisters, stayed in one cabin together. So you really got to know, the sisters you were, traveling with on a whole new level. And I know a lot of people, so, in passing, I see a lot of people, we talk, and I think I know them until I travel with them. I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't know you was into this, or I didn't know, you like to do this or you like to do that, and that we have a lot in common actually. So you really get to experience, your Muslim sisters on a whole nother level when you travel. But so we went to Vermont. That was in December. We just did New York City takeover where we rented a stretch limo. And woo, we was packed in there.
Like sardines.
They told us, they said 20 people could fit in this. And us, we some thick sisters. So it's like, it wasn't meant for 20 thick sisters to be in this. So we was body to body.
Each we were like this.
Yeah.
We were like
we was body to body. So you really got to know your sister intimately that day.
But everyone looked so beautiful. All the sisters looked so beautiful.
Yes.
On that trip.
We had, the dress code was all black.
Yes.
So everywhere we walked, everybody,
wanted to
stopped
take pictures.
Wanted to take pictures. Oh my God, you guys are beautiful. So we got a really, really good response.
It was a form of dawah.
Absolutely, it was definitely a form of dawah. And the sisters, they were very gracious and
Trips like this bring such a bond in sisterhood. Like the things that you can't find when you go other places, especially Muslim sisters. We need this. We need these type of trips because it really brings that bond.
Absolutely,
It
absolutely.
Really does.
It's unlike any other because it's easy to just see your sister in passing and but it's different when you actually travel with them. You have to really spend a long period of time with one person or a few people. You really get to know them intimately. And I always, whenever we go on any trips or any events, I always want to pair up sisters that don't know each other and, have things for them to find out about one another. Because you'll be surprised. You might have a lot of things in common with them, and you don't even know because a lot of sisters in the group, ironically, they all say they're not people person. Like they're not.
Oh, yes.
They're not.
I'm not a people person.
Yeah, I'm not a people person. Yeah, but they wanted to just experience something new, so this is really bringing them out of their shell. Like it's forcing them to become people.
Getting them out of their bubble and out of their comfort zone. I mean, how else are you going to experience the world or anything else if you're not coming out of your own comfort zone?
Absolutely.
That is true.
You got to push past that fear.
Yeah.
And as a new shahada, going on a trip. That was my first, everyone. The New York City trip was my first trip with PTM, and it was just awesome to be amongst, the diversity of the sisters, everybody had their own personality, everybody was loving, everybody was just, the personalities were great. And as a new shahada, to be able to meet other sisters and to be able to bond and learn new things, on this journey, I just, I was overwhelmed, in a great way,
That's a great feedback. We didn't get that feedback.
Yes.
So it's definitely great feedback.
Yes.
So I want to tell you about when we talk about sisterhood and bonding and getting out of our shell. I did my first conference in New York City last year. And I was really nervous. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to New York City. I'm a hijabi. I'm going to be all by myself. I'm like, okay, prayed, did my du'as. I'm going in. So I go, and when I was done, I took the Uber back to the hotel room and I turned the TV on, and what do I see? The Muslim travel ban. I was like, oh my God, I literally sat in the bed going, this can't be happening. This is a movie. gosh darn it, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I need to go out and get something to eat. So the hotel that I was staying at didn't have any, room service or anything, so I actually needed to go out to get something to eat. But I was petrified. My family's calling, my husband's calling. I'm like, I'm safe, I'm good. But I'm watching the news and I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. And then I see all these people, running to the airport and protesting, and non-Muslims standing with Muslims. Like, I was in tears. I was like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is happening. But I'm so proud. I'm so proud right now to be an American. So anyway, so I left the hotel room and I went and I found a place. It was like a Mid-Eastern shop or something like that. But I had to get out of my bubble and I had to get out of my comfort zone. So there was no single tables. There were just long tables. So I got my food and I asked this lady next to me, I said, is anybody sitting here? And she's like, you are. And she pulled out her seat and I sat down. I said, thank you. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. So I started to eat and we started talking. A stranger, never met her, had no idea who she was. She introduced herself as Mary. We talked like we knew each other for years. We talked about children, cartoon movies, essential oils, health. I mean, we talked about everything. So when I was done, I was like, Mary, thank you so much for having dinner with me. This was great. I needed this. And we said our goodbyes and I left. But as I walked out the door, I heard, glory, glory. So I turned around and she's like, I want to give you something. And I was like, okay. So I turned back around, but I'm thinking, what can she possibly give me? So people that know me have heard this story before. But if you don't know me, I want to tell you the story because this is really important. So I turned around and I walked back to her and I was thinking this whole time, what could she possibly give me? And she said, I want to give you a hug. And when she said that, my heart melted. She hugged me and I cried because I was saying, this is what I needed at this exact time, right? And then she whispered in my ear, we women, we need to stick together. Yes, we need to strengthen each other and we need to empower each other. Like, I still get chills just thinking of that time. I have chills. And I just started sobbing and I was like, thank you. You've given me faith. You're giving me hope. And that's what I needed at that moment. But if I never would have gotten out of my comfort zone, if I would have been too afraid because I'm a hijabi, and I would have stayed in the hotel room and not eaten, hey, I fasted, I can do this, I can stay in the room and not eat. But I had to push past my fear, and if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to experience or to have met Mary. Right?
And it's the same thing with traveling, getting on planes and, just the travel piece is so important, being comfortable to travel, as a hijabi. I hear a lot of different stories of people being fearful, of traveling because of that. And like you said, we have to step out of our comfort zone.
We do. I mean, and honestly, I have to tell you, wallahi, that when I am getting ready to go to the airport, my anxiety kicks in at 100. I am super nervous. I have to go to TSA. And let me tell you something. When you go to TSA, and you know this, everybody's looking at you. Right. All eyes are on you. Nobody's smiling. They do this. Like, they're not looking at you. And so I'm like, all right, so let me play with my phone. Like, what can I do? Like, all right, I have to go to security where I'm all for safety.
We're humiliated, basically.
Exactly. So they put you through the body scan. Like, come on, you can see everything in the body scan. Now you have to pat me down.
Right.
So and there's some people that are really nice. Like when I went to Pittsburgh, at the airport in Pittsburgh, the lady was like, do you want to go into another room? Do you mind if I just pat you down right here? Like, she was so nice, and I was like, no, sure, fine, because she made me feel comfortable. Right. But when you go to Newark Airport or JFK, like, they're like, hands out, and it's so embarrassing because everybody's looking at you.
Right. Especially coming back.
But as soon as you get to the gate, it's a totally different story. Everybody's talking to you, you're talking to people, you're having conversation. It's just that moment, and when you're in line at TSA, everybody's looking at you, but they pretend they're not looking at you, and I'm just like, oh my God, why do I have to go through this? So my advice is for everyone, Muslims and non-Muslim, just smile. It's a simple, kind gesture. Give me a smile, make me feel a little bit of hope in there,
That's awesome advice, because I'll be traveling for the first time, to the Bahamas, and I had to get on a plane to fly. So this would be my first experience, and like you said, that's just great advice for me to have, to not, be worried or scared about what's going to happen. And once I get to the airport, or I get on the plane and someone decides, oh well, she's Muslim, and create an issue because it happens. So that's definitely,
I have to tell you that so let me go back. So when I started the travel blog, I actually started during the presidential election. That was my motivation to start. I've always been into travel. I went to travel and tourism school, but then life happened. I pushed everything on hold, and I was taking care of my family. Went out and got a degree and was in finance. But during the presidential election, the country was divided. And I'm like, this is not my America. What you're hearing on the news, these are not America. This is not my America. So I had to do something. I said, you know what? I've been wanting to travel blog for a while. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it now because I want to feature America as a Muslim-friendly destination, because it is. It really is. We really are the melting pot. There's such big diversity in here. And when I travel, when I've been wearing my hijab for 6 years now, and I've never had more conversation than I've had when I've been wearing my hijab. Before, nobody noticed me. Now in hijab, people wait. They open the door for me, and they actually sit there and wait. And I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. You didn't have to do that. And I'll be at the
move to the side when you're walking down the street.
And they'll hold the doors, or they'll start a conversation. So I have more meaningful conversation now as a hijabi than I've ever had when I wasn't wearing hijab. So, when you get to the airport, it's nerve-wracking, but once you get to that gate and you get on the plane, I've had some really great conversations with just this passenger sitting next to me.
Yes. So you talked about your blog. Tell us some more about it. Like, what are some of the topics? What are some of the things that you feature in your blog?
So I've been, as I was telling her, that I was featuring Philadelphia a lot because there's so much to see and do in Philadelphia. So what I do is I've been featuring America as a Muslim-friendly destination. So, for example, in Philadelphia, I'm going to blog about what are some of the attractions and destinations you can go to that are Muslim-friendly, where you can pray, where the masjids are at, where you can have halal food. So things like that. I went to Maryland. They have the Dinette Center of America. If you haven't gone, you need to go. The masjid was built by the Turkish government. It is amazing. It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Recently, I just came back from Florida. I was in Tampa, and I stopped in Orlando to see my family during the snowstorm, because I wasn't coming back. And I asked my nephew, can you take me to the masjid? I think it's called Al-Haya, if I'm not mistaken, in Sanford, Florida. And we were blown away. The stone that they use is the same stone that they use at the Kaaba.
Is that the masjid that has the umbrellas that look like the Prophet's Mosque? Like it's really, really big?
It's huge. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like my nephew was like, I feel like I'm in another country. Like I cannot believe this is in Florida. It is absolutely gorgeous. So this is what I want to do. I want to let people know, that there are a lot of masjids in America. And one of the things that I hear a lot from some of my readers is, do you even have halal food in America? I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course we have halal food. Well, where am I going to pray? Do you have masjids? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to keep going around. And I'm going to keep blogging about America and show you where the different masjids are, where you can get the halal food, where you can pray, what activities you can do. So, so that's kind of like what I do in my blog. But, I'm traveling to combat Islamophobia. That's like the biggest thing. And in my travels, I find a lot that people will come up to me, and when I tell them why I'm traveling, they say thank you. And I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize that it was touching you. They're like, we need someone like you.
Yes.
We need people like you to, to speak about Islamophobia, to represent. I was recently at the Amplify tour in Tampa that I just came back for, and I met someone there, and we introduced ourselves, and she asked me what I did, and I said, I'm a travel blogger, and I travel to combat Islamophobia. She said, thank you. Gloria, thank you, because we need women like you. And I was like, oh, great, thank you, you know. And then we moved on into the room, and she comes back, and she's like, can I just hug you? I just want to hug you. She's like, I'm just so happy that we have people like you. And that really ignited this fire in me. And I was like, this is why I do what I do. You know, because once you're blogging and you're writing and, you know, you hear people saying things, but to actually someone who doesn't know you and you tell them what they do and they're like, can I just hug you? Because I'm just so happy that you're actually doing this. That touches your heart. That means something, you know. And I want to be able to reach the Muslim Ummah, you know, alhamdulillah. That's my goal.
Yes. So blogging and, you know, working your business, how do you, for the both, this is the question for both of you, how do you keep that balance? Like how family life, work life, like what does that look like?
It's not easy.
Something's off. It's not balanced.
It is not
fluctuates.
easy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've been actually working on learning how to prioritize. I actually learned more time management when I'm most productive, and when I no longer wake up and look at my phone and read my emails. I no longer do that. I wait until the afternoon, because in the afternoon, between 2 and 3 o'clock, that's when I start to peak down. That's when I need to be looking at my emails, right? Not in the morning. In the mornings, I need to be more productive. So I've been learning and doing a lot of research, reading books on how to be productive, how to do time management. And one of the things that I learned, I don't know if you've ever heard of Mel Robbins.
Yes.
Mel Robbins, right? So she has the 5-second rule, right? That book is everything.
I haven't read it, but I heard about it.
That book is everything. So in the 5-second rules, you know, she basically was telling, like, she was going through a depression. Her husband lost his job. He wanted to open up a restaurant, and she's like, "What are you, crazy? What are you doing?" You know. So she went through this big depression, and she was watching the news, and she saw the rocket go up, and so, you know, the countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she's like, "Oh my God, this is what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to get up out of bed."
Oh yeah, I heard.
Right. So I've actually been doing that a lot, even to get up to pray Fajr on time, because I wait till the really last minute. So I've been really trying to, you know, align Islam with my business, which is not easy, but that's my goal for this year, is to align Islam with my business. So now I just say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I get up and do it. Don't think about it. Just do it, because your mind in 5 seconds will give you 25,000 reasons why you shouldn't do something. Right? So I've been doing that a lot in everything that I do. So I realized too, with my business, that if I have people in place to help me support my business, right? Because I can't do everything. I'm like, I need to do the same thing for my health, because I need to have energy. I need to be in the best health that I could be. And I've gained 45 pounds in the last 6 years since I got married. That's my husband will tell you. But so I know that I need to lose this weight, but I totally changed my mind, my way of thinking. And it's like, you know what? My goal is not to lose 45 pounds. My goal is to get people in place to help me, right? Because obviously I don't know what I'm doing when I go to the gym. So I hired a trainer. So now I go to the gym 3 times a week, and I have a trainer who's showing me how to exercise correctly. I hired a nutritionist, right? So I'm getting my team in place to help me. So I hired a nutritionist who's teaching me what to eat, what's the best way to eat, and doing the crowding out process, where you take one thing out and you implement something healthier, right?
That's right.
So I've been learning that the things that I'm doing in my business are the things that I need to be doing in my life. And as part as aligning Islam with my business, you know, I'm going more to attending more lectures, because I need this. I need to refuel my soul. Like, this is a part of me. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal.
That's funny. I just read an article, and they said LeBron James spent $1.5 million on his body, meaning like trainers and all of these people to help him, because I guess him being a basketball player, that is his job. So that's kind of the same lines that
Right,
we were talking
yes.
about, where, you know, you want to hire the trainer, you want to hire the nutritionist,
Right.
you know, because if you're good, then that means your business is
Business,
good.
right.
Exactly,
Very
right?
true.
So once you have that energy, you're eating healthy,
Right.
you're drinking more water, right? You're giving your body what it needs, you're able to serve at a higher
Right.
level.
Right,
That's
absolutely.
true. That's absolutely true. You cannot help others unless you help yourself
Yourself.
first. You know, you have to really focus on, you know, you so that you can be productive in your business. And a lot of times we juggle so many different things that we put ourselves on the back burner, and ultimately we suffer, but the population that we're trying to, you know, serve ends up suffering because we're not at our best, you know, when we're
Absolutely.
performing in our business or, you know, in our personal life, because it's, you know, it's a cycle. If you're not doing well personally, it affects your family, it affects your business, and it affects you, and it also affects your, you know, your relationship with the law, you know, because you're not centered, you're not focused, your attention is all over the place. So I think that's great. That's a great
That's
goal.
absolutely true, because like also, now that you say that, I've been trying to be more present, right? So when we're at the kitchen table, we go out, when you go out to a restaurant, what do you see? Everybody's on their phone. Nobody is present nowadays. And I realized this because during the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico, I still have family members that don't have power. So that was devastating. That was hard on us, not having contact with them, what's going on. But the things that they tell us, they're like, you know what? We're sitting in our front porches with our neighbors. We're going back to the way it was. We're having meaningful conversations. The kids are out playing together.
Right.
Things that they've stopped doing for years since they got social media, they're going back to that. And I was like, you know, I need to be present because I am not present. Sometimes my children are in their 20s. I have 3 grandchildren, 3 grandbabies now, so I'm super excited. 2 twins and a 1.5-year-old, so they're actually 9 months apart. So I became a grandmother of 3 in 9 months. It was crazy, but you know, just bringing that being present back, right? Going back to the way it was. So I've been really trying to work on being present. Even like my husband only has 1 day off, and I'm trying to be more present with him because we're so busy, right? We'll be on our laptops, we'll be on our phone, checking social media or cooking, cleaning, whatever it is. I'm just, you know what? I take some time off on the weekends from social media so that I can be more present. So, you know, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do.
You have to, and we have to make that a priority.
Absolutely.
All around, you know, in each area, you know, with operating, you know, your business. So can you give us some strategies or tools from your toolbox that you utilize to, you know, stay on top of your business, you know, to be engaged in the services that you offer? Because sometimes it falls off. There's so much going on. You know, there's similar business, and sometimes we find ourselves wrapped up in, oh, I don't offer this, so now I should offer this service. So how do you stay focused on your goal, on your business
I
goal?
don't follow people that do the same thing I do. That's one of the ways you can get distracted, because you'll always be looking at them and what they're doing, and then you comparing. Just focus on whatever you're doing. You gotta have to have tunnel vision. You have to focus on what you're doing, and you see where your goal is, and that's what you're trying to reach. But if you're looking at what this person is doing, what that person is doing, then you start comparing. Then you start, you know, having
And you
doubts.
find yourself
Then-
mocking and not being
also mocking, and you know, it's, and then you just get discouraged because you think you're not on the level, and et cetera, et cetera. So what I do is, what I've done since the beginning, even when I was designing and sewing, is I did not follow people that were doing the same thing I was doing, because it distracts me. So that's one thing that I do, is you have to keep focused. And social media is a big distraction in itself. I mean, the reason why you don't want to get rid of it is marketing. It's
Marketing,
free marketing.
yes.
Right.
It's like, you know, it's like you gotta weigh it. Like, okay, free marketing to the highest degree, or just the distraction of having social media. So,
I know I spend a total of maybe an hour and a half on social media. I'm not on there all day. And if I'm posting, I post and I'm off.
Get off.
Yeah.
Get right
Yeah.
off.
And
Right.
I might scroll up and down here and there, and like some pictures, but I'm not sitting on social media all day. I don't have time for that.
No.
Yeah, I don't have time.
I
That's
literally,
why
I
I
don't
don't
have
really
time
follow
for it.
anybody anyway. So you really can't get distracted because you don't have anybody to distract you. You know, so.
You know what I tell you? If I'm not on Facebook, how would I know about the different events that the masjid is having?
I mean, that's true too.
Well,
That's how I know about
well,
the events
when
that
you
are
go
going on.
on, you can go
Yeah,
to
see,
that specific
yeah, see,
page.
that's what I'm saying. I follow people that are beneficial in whatever way.
You know
but
you want to
I
get
just-
some information.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, if you're full of nonsense, the first post you write that's nonsense, unfollow or delete.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because
right.
you know your nonsense is going to be coming into my brain and
Right.
allowing it to be cluttered with foolishness.
Right.
And you know you have to be focused. If you want to be successful, you have to stay focused.
Must.
And that's one of the things I was telling myself is no matter what, Philly Traveling Muslim is reaching the top and surpassing it. Because a lot of times you get frustrated and you say, okay, I'm gonna take a break. No breaks. You just have to keep focused, and you have to focus. Like you were saying, we juggle so many different things. And I said my goal for 2019 is my sole job is going to be Philly Traveling Muslim.
And you
That's
have to
my
work
goal.
smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Smart,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Smart.
So I can't,
Scale your business.
right, you
to grow.
have to, and then you have to, put people in place that can help you in the areas that,
Right.
that you can't do. And, a lot of us are scared to kind of, share our business
Mm-hmm.
because we're afraid that somebody might take it. But my thing is, whatever's for you, Allah's going to give you. Whatever isn't for you, you're not going to get no matter what you do. So you can't really, worry about somebody taking your ideas or because Allah, if it's supposed to be successful, Allah is going to make it successful regardless of who's trying to tarnish your name, trying to bite your style, whatever they're trying to do. It's tunnel vision, and it's you and Allah, and He's going to take you to the place where you need to be. So you have to stay focused.
Well, to add to what she said about staying focused and working on your goals, what I've been doing is I have, a 90-day goal. So I write my 90-day goals, and I'm focused on that 3 goals for that 90 days. And everything that I do, social media, blog posts, anything that I'm doing is for those 3 goals that I have, right? Of course, my mind, I have like 25,000 things that I want to do, but I need to focus only on those goals. And then I, halfway through it, I go back and I strategize again and say, okay, what needs to change? And then I make another 90-day goal. So quarterly, I'm making different goals.
And it's good. 'Cause I do
And
the same
that
thing as
helps.
well.
Me too.
That helps. So you're staying focused.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I definitely have my little whiteboards with my goals on there, and it helps me to stay focused. Because sometimes I get an idea,
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to do it, I'm ready to make a
Right.
move. Be
Right.
like, slow down.
Right.
You know, you have 10 things on your plate.
I'll tell you to slow down. I'm like, oh yes.
She encourages the behavior. 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning text me like, oh yeah, let's go do this, let's do that. I'm like, see, she my twin though.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like.
And also, the travel industry is such a big travel sector. Like for me, I feel that there's no need for competition. It's such a huge sector, especially the Muslim travel sector. This is one of the things that I wanted to touch about. Was the Crescent rating report that there were 121 million Muslim travelers in 2016
Wow.
with expenditures of $220 billion, right? And that's expected to reach $300 billion in 2050. Why do we need to compete?
I'm in the wrong industry.
Right, that's why
Yeah, so you looking for a partner? You looking for a partner?
Scale down, sister.
Yeah.
Scale down.
2% of that, 2% of that.
We
I'm
need a tri-state was whatever, make it work,
It is such a great, the Muslim travel market is huge, and there's a couple key factors, but there's 2 key factors that I really want to touch upon. And the number 1 key factor is the Muslim population. We are the fastest growing religious group in the world. And they're expecting it, I'm writing this down, that by 2050, or was it 2050? 28 billion Muslims by 2050. Can you imagine, subhanAllah? 28 billion Muslims. That's insane. And then the other key factor that's really important is our Muslim youth, right? So they're one of the highest educated of all religious groups, right? And they're shaping our industry, so they're trendsetters. They're going after they're self-empowered, right? So they want the now experience. I want to have that adventure travel. I want to experience it now, but you also need to cater to me, right?
That's right.
You need to cater to me. So if businesses need to brand their business to understand the Muslim travelers and cater to the Muslim travelers, I mean, this is a $220 billion industry. Why would you not cater to Muslims? Absolutely.
And that's something that Aaliyah specializes in. I know she's been working on projects with the hospitals and teaching them how to cater to their Muslim patients when they come in. And the hotels also.
Yes.
She's working with the hotels and showing them how to cater to Muslims also.
You know,
Like offering a prayer room and Zabiha food, so.
And speaking on that, there's this new hotel that opened yesterday in Philadelphia called Cambria Hotel and Suites.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, so there's a new hotel in Philadelphia that just opened up yesterday. They're called Cambria Philadelphia. It's hotels and suites. It's on 219 South Broad Street, and the director of sales, her name is Nina Tamani, and she is a Muslim. So I am super excited.
Oh, awesome.
I'm so proud of her because she immigrated to the United States and she has come such a long way. And now she's a director of sales in this brand new hotel in Philadelphia. This is super exciting.
Yes,
so I'm excited.
Yes, it's very
Definitely, I'm
exciting.
super excited. I can't wait to actually take a look at it. And see what she has to offer. So, we're having Muslim laws, as the directors of these really big hotels,
That's
We've
awesome.
come a long way.
Yes, we definitely have.
So we have to take a visit to that hotel.
Oh, it's brand new. It's spanking new. It's beautiful.
We have to.
All right, so it's on the corner of Locust and Broad Street.
That is okay.
What would you, what's our 3 questions? The 3 do's and don'ts?
Oh, yes, the 3 do's and don'ts of, looking back at your business from when you first started until now, give us 3 do's and don'ts.
Okay. So my first do is for any business, right? Not just a travel ball, for any business, treat it as a business from the very beginning. Most of us is like, this is like a hobby, let's start this, let's see what happens, but we really need to be looking at anything that we do as a business. So that's like the very first one. What else? Let me see, that's like my biggest one, is treat it as a business. And then the other one is network. So you're like the 5 people that you hang around with, right? So if you want to scale up and you want to move up, you need to be hanging around with the people that are doing it, who have done it, and who are doing it well, right? So you need to start networking outside of your group. I'm not saying leave your group, that you're in, but you need to start looking at things a different way and get other people's perspective. And also, my third one is collaboration. Collaboration is everything. It is everything.
Collaboration.
Right? I mean, going to the networking event, that's how I met you. I would have never met you if I wasn't going to that if I didn't come out of my comfort zone, my bubble, and said, let me go to this networking event that I have no idea where I'm going or who I'm going to meet there. But alhamdulillah, look, how many people we met there.
Yes.
And now we're collaborating. So collaboration is a really huge one.
And it's key, because sometimes you can meet other sisters, that can introduce you to new ideas, to other professionals, that you can work with, so I think it's really important to collaborate, not be afraid, to partner. everyone is not going to be your ideal, business partner or somebody that you can collaborate, but you can kind of get a sense of who you would, like to work with. So that's definitely important.
And one of my don'ts is, and I learned this as I was going to different events and networking and training sessions and coaching, is that don't think that you're so smart and everybody else is up here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I learned that because I had a friend who said, you're doing the travel blog. I want to connect you to someone. I'm like, sure, what do you want to connect me to? And she's like, oh, he's the CEO of Skift, and Skift in the travel industry. We all know who Skift is. And I'm like, wait, what? You want to connect me to who? Like, he's up here, I'm down here. And wallahi, it took me about a month to say yes to her. That's how nervous and scared I was. Fear paralyzed me. Like, literally, I was paralyzed. I couldn't move forward. And then after I finally said, okay, yes, go ahead. And, she sent him a message. He's like, sure, have him call me. And he did. He called me. He spent 45 minutes on the phone. Out of his day, like, this CEO who has millions of dollars sat there and listened to what my idea was, gave me some advice. But the thing is, he made me feel so comfortable that I was like, why was I so nervous? Like, he is a person just like anybody else, right? So that's like one of the major lessons that I learned is don't think that everybody else is above you and you're down here.
Right.
Because you're not. We're even. I mean, when we go to the masjid and we pray shoulder to shoulder, you don't know who's praying next to you. It can be the queen of Saudi Arabia. I don't know. You don't know.
And you don't
right?
even care.
Exactly.
You don't even care.
Exactly. So that's my biggest don't minimize yourself and think that everybody's better than you, bigger than you, and what are you, a little mosquito on the wall.
And two more don'ts. Two more.
Two more don'ts. Oh my gosh. I don't like the don'ts. I like the do's.
Well, we want to prepare people and let them know, like, don't do this, So, a little cushion for them.
We all grow in our business, and I can think of some things from my business I just wouldn't do again, and part of that is not getting certain trainings, that would help me to get to the next level in my business, making sure that I set aside a certain amount of, finances for specific trainings or, for coaching. And I didn't get a coach until midway in my business, and I wish I had done it from day one.
Yes.
Looking back at it, because I made a lot of mistakes, from it. So, looking at your business, what would you say as a don't? Would it be for you the traveling business, maybe not collaborating, or could be not interning, or not doing the research, or
at the beginning for me is not hiring the right people to help support me, because when I first started, I wasn't looking at it as a business. I wasn't treating it as a business. And then I was like, all right, I finally realized, because I was burning myself out,
right,
that I couldn't do it by myself. You cannot do anything by yourself. You need help. So I wish I would have, gotten the help, my support system, my team in place before I started.
I totally agree with you. And I was reading your website, and you offer family destinations, so tell us some of the places that you would recommend, for families to travel that's, family friendly.
One of the destinations that's up and up now is Japan. Japan is really catering to the Muslim on halal travel.
Okay.
So that is like one of my goals, is that I want to go to Japan and experience what their halal destination is like. So that I recommend that to everybody. Japan is the place to go right now. And then, see, the UK is doing such a great job at catering to the Muslim travelers. I'm like, why can't we do that here? We don't have that here, right? So we need to go outside of the United States in order to get those type of experiences. But here within the U.S., like I said, in Maryland, they have the Dinette Center of America. You can stay at the Dinette Center of America. It's only $100,000, and they provide you breakfast. They have a Turkish bath. They have a theater room, right? They have a couple different restaurants, and they even have houses, like for up to 20 people that you can rent and stay there. So these are the activities that you can do here in the United States that I would definitely take my family to, and just take a day trip to like the Baltimore Harbor or something like that. But at the same time, you're experiencing something that you've never would experience before. Right. So the other place that I would recommend people to go is to Panama. Panama, there is a city in Panama called Colón, who has a very high population of Muslims, and it's not something that everybody knows. So that's on my bucket list for sure. So Panama, hopefully, inshallah, this year, I'm gonna make it to Panama.
Inshallah.
Panama, Japan, they're on my bucket list.
Okay.
There we go.
I know that's where Aaliyah just came from, Japan.
In Japan.
Aaliyah Kabir.
Mm.
Yeah, her and her family just came from there. She really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, that's just like, come on, America, get with it. Everybody else is starting to cater to the Muslim travelers. We need to do the same thing. You know, get all these people in here.
So they don't love us?
We'll get there. We'll get
They
there.
don't love us.
So what are some of the rewards of starting a travel business?
Oh my gosh. So traveling really humbles us. It really, really humbles us. And I would say that if you start, traveling with your children, as far as like my parents, my passion started with my parents. My parents made sure that we always did a road trip, or that we would travel during our summers between New York City and Puerto Rico, right? So when I went to Puerto Rico, I'm Puerto Rican. I was born and raised here, but I only spoke Spanish. I mean, I was in ESL classes. I knew no English because my parents only spoke Spanish. But when I went to Puerto Rico, even though it was a territory of the United States and they were citizens, it's a totally different culture back there. So I was like, wow, look at this, and look how they dress, and look at their music, and look at their culture. And so that it just inspired in me just this yearning to travel. So then my father would also always do road trips, and like the fondest memories I have is actually, a map. You remember those? A map.
Now you're gonna find them in a gift shop.
Right. So you would go to AAA, they would give you the map.
Oh, yes, that
and we would have, it was like this family thing. We'd sit at the table and we'd highlight the route that we were gonna go down to Virginia or to Florida, right? That was the highlight for me, because we were actually getting to, see, okay, we're gonna go this way, we're gonna go on this highway. Can I be your co-pilot? So my parents instilled in me this passion for travel, to the point where I went to travel and tourism school because I loved it so much. So now that my kids are older, I'm like, I want to go back to my passion, to what I love to do. Right? So, yeah.
I missed the question.
Okay, so can you give us the 3 do's and don'ts that you would advise someone that's interested in starting a business? Just from your past experience.
Dues. No, don'ts. Let's start with don'ts.
I only want to talk about dudes, not don'ts.
Don'ts. Just don't let other people discourage you. Don't let their fears be projected on to you. Because a lot of people, because they can't do it or they didn't do it, they think that your ideas are not reachable. Like, oh no, but why would you do that? Why would you start that? Why? People not gonna like that. So don't let that discourage you from accomplishing a goal or starting a business. Also, don't do too much. Like, start small. Like, we always want to think big, and we always look at the next person and say, okay, they're at this level.
And you
want
to get there.
Right,
you want to leap.
No, start small.
Leap.
Start small. And don't put too much on your plate, because that's the fastest way for it to fail. Is you want to start small and you want to allow that to grow. So one more don't. I don't know. I can't think of another don't right now.
Okay.
So she said only do's.
3 do's.
All right, well,
She struggled with the don'ts. She struggled with them.
I like the do's.
Do what you want. You want to do
Follow your
that.
passion.
Right. Just do it. I tell people all the time, and because I do so much, you know, people are always like, yeah, go ahead, do it. You can do it. And I'm like, no, you do it. I can't do everything. Like, I can't, you know, have things for the youth, then have things for the adults, and have things for married people. We need everybody to go ahead and do something. If you think about it, and you think there's a need for it, go ahead and do it. Start it up.
Right.
Because you'll be surprised. There's a lot of people that think the same thing. They think it's a need. So do your own thing. And I don't know. I'm not really a doer. Don't. Two more. I don't know. See, I would have been able.
Just one more.
I would have been able to piggyback off of what you said. What was your do?
My do was to think about my business. Started as a business, not as like always think about what you're doing as a business and not wait until later on. So always from the beginning, you have to treat it as a business.
Okay, yeah. Something my Oma used to always tell me is she say, make sure you have a contract for everything. Contract everything. Even if you're doing business with your friend, your family member, your cat, your dog.
Contracts are very important.
Right, put it on paper. That's the Islamic way anyway. You know, put it on paper. And let people sign for it. I started because me, I like collaborating with people because it takes the load
So
off from
do
me.
collaborate.
Yeah.
Yes.
I read an article or something and it said don't collaborate. So
Don't listen to that.
Don't listen to that.
but me, I love to collaborate because I'm like, oh my goodness.
It takes a lot
There's
off
so
of you.
much stuff you have to do to help build your business. I might collaborate. But you know, contracts are a must. And I started off actually with like if people have if you have kind of if you have reservations on people stealing your ideas, what I had in place, because I have a partner, it's a non-compete. And so if you decide not to be in business with me, you can't go ahead and start your own business. You got it in writing. So whatever you want, whatever you think, for the long haul, you want to put it in writing in the beginning. So think about everything.
All right. It was definitely a pleasure of having both of you ladies join us today. Do you guys have anything planned that's coming up that you'd like to promote now?
Yes, Morocco, August 2018. We're doing a side trip to Spain. So
How you do a side trip to Spain?
Right. Boss.
A side trip.
Listen, one of my members was like, listen, I want to go to Spain. Can you set that up for me? I can go by myself. And I said, no, let's ask the rest of the people that's going to Morocco. Do they want to go to Spain? We'll just have a side trip. We asked, half of the people are going, alhamdulillah. So, but we still have more space for if you want to go to Morocco, come to Morocco with us. We're going to experience.
But you have to register and become a member
Yeah,
first.
you have to become a member. www.phillytravelingmuslimas with the S at the end.com. Become a member.
Glory, you have any promos?
So I am hosting a Muslim retreat for Muslim women. It's an all-women's retreat called Rediscovering and Reawakening Your True Self Retreat. And our guest speakers are Susie Ismail, Yasmin Isa, Halima de Oliveira, and myself. And during this retreat, we're going to have daily hiking, yoga, sound meditation, journaling. We're going to have lively discussions that us women, Muslim women, want to talk about and need to talk about. A lot about self-care, right? So we can take care of ourselves. We're going to be refueling our souls. And we're going to have a painting night. And we're also going to have bonfire chats, inshallah. So that's going to take place July 6th through the 8th. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's 3 days. It's going to be in Connecticut, and you can look up more information at www.muslimtravelrocks.com/retreats.
Okay. And Sheree, real quick, you
Oh
have an
yes,
event
the
coming up?
Black Women's Wellness Conference is April 21st. It's from 10 to 2. It will be at the White Pines Production. To get your tickets, you can go to bit.ly/Black Women's Wellness.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Again, thank you for tuning in. I wanted to promote my grand opening, which will be April 7th at 3 p.m. I have a new event space. The address is 6205 through 6207 Market Street, Philadelphia, PA 19139. Also, I am co-hosting an event called Scribble Night, which is for children. So come out, get your tickets. The tickets are $35. That includes a child and an adult. Scribble Night is similar to Paint with a Twist. We have the children draw whatever art they make on the picture. We transfer it to a t-shirt. And then we have games and stuff for them also. And again, that's $35. You can contact me if you're interested in getting a ticket. And that event is the second week in March. That Friday and Saturday. We have 2 dates, Friday and Saturday. Excuse me, I can't remember the dates. April, yeah. So make sure you tune in for next week's show. And if you are